What is up, everybody? Give me a few seconds just to get everything set up. So, how's it going? Welcome back to Shop Talk Tuesday Live. I'm glad you guys are here this evening. Thanks for joining with me. Sorry about last week. We had a severe thunderstorm coming through here, and it got everything was crazy. So the power went out and all that kind of stuff. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this evening. I'm glad to see you all here this evening. If you would do me a favor and leave a comment, let me know where you're chiming in from, and if you're on my time, East Coast time, tell me what you guys have for dinner or what you have ready for dinner. Steven, what's up? DK, what's going on? David O'Brien, what's up? Nathan, what's going on? David. And Russ says, hello, what's up, Nate? What's up, Russ? How you guys doing this evening? So I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Christy says hi from California, and David says my hood in Oregon. What is going on? Later, Arizona, 418. Wow. Let's see if I can go ahead and brighten this up for you guys a little bit. There we go. Steven says, hey, Nate, how much did it cost to build the table you're building now? Steven, that's a great question, and I will get to it as soon as possible. So if you guys are new to Shop Talk Tuesday Live, this is literally a Q&A. Sometimes we work on projects like that one, and that is more recent. We've worked on a couple of things, but we're going to do a Q&A because I do have some things coming up that I want to share with you guys. And then next week we'll be doing another project live. So I'm going to kind of be switching that up so that you guys, don't just see me talking the whole entire time. But this evening we're going to be answering a few questions. It'll be like a Q&A session, and then I'll tell you what's going on in this channel. So I'll start with that, but I want to answer a quick question from Steven, excuse me. And Steven asked, what is the cost of the table that I'm building now? If you've seen it, it's that big white oak slab. It's blue, has like a lagoon. It's like a river table. It has some lagoons and really cool stuff in there as well. And so my cost in that is about $3,500, between $3,500 and $3,800 for my cost in building. So there you go. DK says he's eating pepperoni pizza in Massachusetts, another 99-degree day. Yeah, it was super hot here too. Richard Collins says, hey, Nathan from the Basement Woodworks, pork chops, fried taters, and corn. That sounds delicious. Cody says, hello from Washington. Rais Mohammed says, hey, brother, hope doing great during these tough times. Be safe. Yes. Yep, I really appreciate it. I am doing great. We're all safe. My family is safe, and everybody that I work with, we haven't come in contact with anything that's going on. So very, very thankful to the Lord for that. Karen says, greetings from Louisiana. What's going on, Karen? Bruce says he's in Australia. Watch your vids and I'm learning. Thanks, man. Hey, I appreciate that, Bruce. Steven says, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, it is. Renee says, hello from Primo's Pizza. Oh, sweet. I love Primo's Pizza. That's great. Hey, Mom. David O'Brien says, so needless to say, it's about a $7,000 to $10,000 table. Yes, it is. Yeah, so my cost, so yeah, legs were about, my friend is actually Hector. If you might have seen him in a couple of videos, show his face. He's helped me deliver a few of them in some other videos, but he actually has a nice new welding setup, and he's going to be building the legs. We'll be getting videos of that too. And the legs themselves, what he charged was about $800, $700 for the legs. So we have about $1,500 in the slab cost. We have $700 for legs, and so that's 22. and then the rest is epoxy. So yeah, super expensive, but it's going to be a great table. So Steven asked how much did the customer pay, and I'm not going to disclose that because they watch the channel as well, and I don't know if they're comfortable with that, but they did get quite a discount. I will say that. So not as much as you would expect. Rai said, I would love to start building epoxy products, and any suggestions on how to start from the scratch. And Stephen put a bunch of laughing emojis. Appreciate that. Rai's said he's questions on starting from scratch. I'm sure you guys can chime in as well, but starting from scratch, what I would recommend is try to find an epoxy brand that you like, but try to do, excuse me, as many projects as you can on your own to get familiar with the products that you're going to be using before you try to sell them. And then once you get pretty proficient in what you're doing, it's all about marketing, really. And so it doesn't, if you notice, I don't have all the biggest and best tools if you look at my videos and things like that, but you can do this on somewhat of a budget. I will say that tools do help, makes things a lot easier. But you can actually, I buy a lot of used tools, so I don't have to make a big purchase up front. So that's a good suggestion, I would say. David says cutting boards are a good start. Yes, they are. Steven says, I did start with zero knowledge on the table that has been built in wait. I did start with zero knowledge on a table that has a built-in cooler. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty awesome. I'd love to see that. If you guys go over to the Facebook group, it's called Goodview Woodworks Community. You can post some pictures up over there. I'd love to see it. Chris says, best size for epoxy river cutting board, and what is the best food safe finish? Okay, so that's a great question. Chris, if you're going to do a cutting board, like I've always said, and I'm going to say it again, the epoxy that I use, like Stone Coat countertops, is FDA approved for intermittent food contact. So like you don't want to use it as a cutting board per se, more as a serving tray, like countertops. The epoxy is made for countertops. Now, they haven't really said if there's anything in it that is harmful. But you don't want to get, like, if you were to cut a little piece, if you cut a lot, maybe some little shavings of plastic, we just don't want to be consuming plastic, right? And same thing with plastic cutting boards. They do the same thing now, which is crazy that you can market a plastic cutting board versus epoxy, but that's a whole different story. Once it's fully cured and set up, it's pretty inert. I doubt that anything would happen, but let's stick with what they say, and it's for intermittent food contact only. So it's okay if food touches it, but you don't want to prepare food on it. That's what I would say. As far as the best food safe finish, any kind of cutting board, mineral oil is good. Butcher block oil, butcher block conditioner is good. There's walrus oil is another one. But yeah, any kind of food safe salad bowl finish type stuff would be great. Great question, Chris. Rai said it's better to build something small and then grow from there, right? Yes, of course. You don't want to tackle a project like what I'm tackling now, that big 9-foot table, if you've never done it before, because you really do need to get used to using the products, because there is a learning curve. Many of you guys who have been on this channel before can attest to that. There is quite a learning curve to epoxy. Now, it's not hard once you get used to it, but there is a definite way to mix, how to use the drill, how to spread it, how to control temperatures and things like that. So yeah, definitely starting small is great. David says, let's see, hold on, let me get on here again. So Steven, I don't want to skip his, says I'll send you the pics and he'll send me the pics there and I'll tell him what I think. Okay, Steve, yeah. David says he uses butcher block oil. Creations Variety says, hey, great fan of your work from India. What is going on? Glad you're here. This is the first time I've seen you here commenting, so thanks for joining us this evening. All right, he says, how much warranty period would you give for your products? How long do you think such an epoxy table would last? That's a great question for warranty. Usually I speak with the customer and say that if you have any issues, to let me know and I'll be sure to come in and help them remedy them. But generally speaking, people don't really have any issues with the things that we build because we make sure we take the time and do it right the first time. And epoxy tables will last for a very long time. I have one that I built 3 years ago for a friend, and it still looks the same as it did when I sent it to him 3 years ago. So, it's fine. Chris says, thanks. Now, I'm probably going to butcher this name, but a craft Brita 3 says, I'm news here, bro. Well, what's going on? I'm glad you're here. David says, huge learning curve. We do cutting boards, tables, tumblers, and it's all different. Yes. Yes, it is. And it's funny. I did do a tumbler, and that in itself, it has its own process. And believe me when I tell you, I messed up the first one that I did. Brita 3, I can't say that. Craft Brita 3 says, I like to learn that. Well, if you follow me here and watch the videos, you'd be sure to, I'm sure you'll pick up some pretty cool tricks and tips along the way. Steven says, just posted them in there. That's great. Creations Rice says, my pleasure. Karen says, I made my daughter a dining tabletop that was 40 inches in diameter and 2 inches thick. All epoxy using colors of the sunset, orange, yellow, gold, purple, pink, blue, white with glitter. Oh, that's great. And that sounds awesome. If you have some pictures, Karen, post them up on the community group on Facebook. That'd be great. David O'Brien says, so did I. Oh, you messed up the first tumbler too. So David, what happened? I'll tell you, see if it's similar to what happened with me. Creations says, are you on Instagram? Yes. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I do post things ahead of time there. But Instagram is at Goodview Woodworks. You can find me there. Steven says, I think you have to approve the posting. Steven, yes, and I will as soon as we get done with the live stream. I'll approve that. And Karen says she will as well. Right? Says, any suggestion on a small one to start with? You mean like a table or a cutting board? So yeah, I teach classes in Richmond, Virginia on the river table class, and really what it is, it's a serving board. Excuse me. It's a serving board that is a river table. It's just very small, and I would recommend doing that because it's simple. It doesn't cost a lot. You don't use a whole lot of epoxy and you don't use a lot of wood. So I would definitely start with that. And you do the same exact process on something small like that as you do a large table. And I go through that on most of my videos here on YouTube. Guys, thank you for the questions. That's great. If you would do me a favor and hit the like button, just give me a couple more likes. I want to thank you guys for supporting this channel too. And I wanted to go on. I'm going to answer a few more questions, and I'm going to jump to some things that are going on in the Goodview Woodworks channel. Just some things that are coming up. So Chris says, follow up. What's the best size for a serving board? Oh, Chris, very sorry, I didn't get to that. So we do 12 by 20 is a really good size. So that's a great size to start with. They're not huge, but really good to work with. 12 inches by 20 inches, Chris. So DK says, my first small projects were knife handles, scales, small. Yeah, it is very small. David says, I didn't seal the paint before I did my first coat, and it left fish eyes all over it. I tried to fix it best I could, but it still feels like a hammered finish than a smooth one. Yeah, so David, I actually put too much epoxy on, and some of it dripped off, and when it set up, I had a big bubble. like a big wart sticking off the side. It was gross. Bruce says, done. Okay. Steven says, in the pics isn't ready yet. It still needs a top coating. Oh, it's not ready yet. Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I'm excited to see the pictures. Russ says, working on a nice living room table right now. Can't wait to get my work shirt. Yeah, yeah, it's coming out to you very, very soon. It should be on its way. I sent it right when you finish. I'm going to go double check that for you, though, Russ, just to make sure everything's good. I tell you what, especially with the fulfillment part of this thing, with the whole COVID, things are really crazy. I've had some people that have sent me some epoxy, or were going to, that filled the order, placed it, never showed up for after a couple weeks, and they had to resend again, and they don't, we don't know what's going on. So this whole COVID thing is really messing up a lot with shipping. So I want to apologize ahead of time if you guys have ordered anything and it didn't ever make it to you. James Taylor says, how are things going, Nathan? Hey, James, things are going great. My wife is pregnant, as you guys may or may not know, and she is due in the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, something like that. So we're getting close. And so I'm very excited for that. So in 1 year, we have gone from 0 kids to 2 kids. It'll be pretty crazy around here. Right, so can I get an opportunity to come to the U.S. and work with you like a job? Right, I wish, man. I'm not there yet. Maybe in the next few years, I might have something going on. Chris says, congrats on the baby. Grace says, wow, congrats, bro. Creation says, congratulations. Nancy says, hello, Nancy from Oregon. What thickness would you use with maple burl wood cutting boards? I like to go at least 1.5 inches, but I like to go 2 inches. That's kind of what I like to do. So I would recommend that. Christy says, congratulations. Karen says, congratulations. A new little one, miracle. A new little miracle. That's exactly right. Doyle says, congrats. If you guys don't know, my wife and I, we tried to get pregnant for 4.5 years, and with nothing happening. And we recently just finished up the adoption process. We adopted a little baby girl right from the hospital. When we got her, she was only 2 days old, and now she is 11 months old. She's about to turn a year old, and the paperwork just went through, and she's officially our little baby as of July 1st this year. So it took a little while, but now it's so awesome. When we couldn't, we prayed and asked, and we couldn't have been blessed any more than we have. So it's super awesome. And then 3 months after we adopted, my wife got pregnant. It's super crazy. Renee Porter says, Chris, sign up for the class is great. You won't regret it. That's funny. Doyle says, I hope you get a little boy for a shop helper. Yeah, so as a matter of fact, Doyle, it is a little boy. It is a little boy. So he'll be coming along soon. Chris says, where is a list of classes you'll be having? Chris, great question. If you go to Woodcraft of Richmond, go to their website and click on classes, you will see my name, Nathan Porter, for the river table classes, and you'll see the schedule there. David O'Brien says, I feel for you, brother. It took 6 years to have our beautiful girl. We named her Grace, and she was born on Christmas. Oh man, that is awesome, David. That is, he says, so God was definitely involved in that. Yeah, always, man. And we thank him every day for all the blessings he's given us. Rai says, when you're going to start something big, please let me know, Nathan. I would love to be a part. We can take your products to a different level. Hey, Rai, I really appreciate that, man. Karen Dawes says, that little girl can be a shop helper too. Of course, yeah. Look, my wife, she didn't know a whole lot of woodworking things when she married me, but taught her, and she can go in there and make stuff when she wants to. So I'm 100% sure little Esther, she could do the same exact thing. So it's definitely not just for guys, it's for girls too. So guys, what's coming up at the Goodview Woodworks shop is, if you saw the title of this video, we're going to be doing a finishing series. So we're going to show you how to use, it'll be a whole series of videos going from epoxy finishes to polyaspartic finishes. to hard wax oil finishes and all those types. I'll show you how to polish epoxy, and we'll show you how to do satin, all that kind of cool stuff. So I'm really excited for this week. This week will be the first one because, as you guys know, the big table, we took it out of the form. What you don't know is we sent it and had it planed down. You might have seen that in the last video. We picked it up a couple days ago, and so we're going to start sanding and getting that all finished up, the big table. But we also got the small table for the local fireman. It's actually a desktop for him, and so he wants a different finish than we're going to do on the large table. So 2 of those videos will be coming up very, very shortly. And then if you see that big piece of burl right here, the little pieces right there, we're going to be doing a coffee table, a maple burl coffee table, and it'll be doing a mid-century modern style, which is not something I do very often. Actually, I've only done it one other time, I think, maybe 2. But it's going to be super, super cool because we're going to be using brass legs, not even painted, not even steel legs, painted brass. We're going to be working with actual brass, which is going to be really cool. And so be sure to be looking for that. So that'll probably come up within the next month. Mel says, want to know how heavy the big table is? It's not too heavy. It's about 400 pounds. It's really heavy. You know, as we had like 5 or 6 people on that thing. It's a beast. We put it up on the forklift. So yeah, it's 400 pounds. It's ridiculous. Ryan says, how much do you think we can make in a year? As much as as much as we can, I guess. I don't know. It's a good question. Christy says, will you show how to finish the bottom side of the table? Yes. Yes, I will. I'll go through all those things in the next video of that big table. Because that's coming up soon. I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do with the bottom and the top. Excuse me. And I usually do that. I don't show the bottom, but usually I finish the bottom the same way as the top. So this time I'll be a little bit more detailed, and I'll show you exactly what we do with the bottom this time. So great question. Another thing that's coming up, I know you guys really enjoy the Shop Talk Tuesdays, as I do as well. We're actually going to, well, I'm not 100% sure. I may have you guys vote. Let me know what you think. But a bunch of you have asked me about Patreon, and I'll be moving. We are already setting up a Patreon for you guys that want to support this channel. And we will be moving the Shop Talk Tuesday over to Patreon. So I will still be posting it, and I'm not 100% sure if I'll not go live on YouTube, but because I still want to, I still really enjoy it. But we may have, we're definitely going to have some different treats for those who want to support me over on Patreon. We have 4 different tiers, and it's not live yet, so I'll give you guys a heads up first, but it will be live soon, then this week, I believe. And so we'll have 4 or 5 different tiers for you guys to support, and they each come with their own benefits. So it's going to be really cool, and I'm really excited about it as well. Yeah, so you guys are asking for bottom side of the table. So yeah, it'll be in the next video of the big table. I'll show you exactly what I do to the bottom. I know a lot of people don't show what they do on the bottom, but I definitely will. Sorry for not doing that before. Steven says the one he's built is like 250 pounds. Yeah, it's crazy. Now, I will say it's lighter a little bit after they planed it down for me. I just don't, obviously with, excuse me, everything going on here at Goodview Woodworks, plus got a new baby on the way, plus we had a new baby. It's hard for me to spend hours of work in planing a big table like that. So I would recommend, if you guys don't have the tools or the time to plane a big table like that, try to find a place like I did. And I'm going to show you in the video kind of what's going on. But, you know, I had somebody else plane the top because, you know, a lot of times, especially if you're doing this for a business, it is better to outsource some of the things that you're not really set up for. So DK says, yes, please keep us informed about your Patreon channel. And DK, I definitely will this week for sure. I'm just coming up. What I have to do first before it goes live, I have to set up there's an intro video that I have to set up, and once I do that, it'll go live. So that's all that's left. Um, right. He says, "Okay, bro, good to see you. It's actually 5 in the morning here, so take care." All right, I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I really appreciate you coming in. It's the first time I've seen you here, but thank you for being on here this evening. DK says, "What kind of shot would be able to play in the top, playing in the top of the table? I mean, what can I search for?" So that's a great question. I happen to just stumble upon a company that would do that. But what I would search for if I were you is look for a sign company near you. A lot of the sign companies have big CNC router tables for cutting out signs and stuff like that, and they may be able to plane the top. You can also look for local sawmills. Sometimes local sawmills have a flattening jig or a CNC table that would do that. So those are the two things that you can search for. Tommy says, hey Nate, what's up, Tommy? And Karen says, bye, Raiz. Yeah, see you later. I'm glad you came and hung out with us this evening. So as far as what's coming up on the channel, that is what is coming up. DK says, so if they have a CNC, I'm good. Yes, that's right. As far as what's coming up in the Good View Woodworks channel, that is what is coming up. Oh, I almost forgot. So a few companies have reached out to me to try their epoxy, and I'm not saying whether I like it or whatever yet, but I'm really excited to just try and see what they've come up with. I'm always looking to see for products that would that make my business better, and that way I can share it with you guys. So be on the lookout for some new videos of me just trying out other brands of epoxy. I'm sure you guys will like that because we'll go over price point. We'll go over, the benefits, the pros and cons of each type of epoxy and how it'll benefit you and how we can use it on big things or small things or, however you guys need to use it. So, and so, that's what we're going to be working our way up to here in the next couple of weeks. So we have to finish the large table, the dining room table. We have to finish the desktop for that firefighter. We have a large podcast table to make, which you'll be seeing soon. That'll be before the coffee table build, which is right there. And so we have some really cool things lined up for you guys. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Tommy says, do you ever use white oak for tables? Hey, Tommy. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, that large table I've been talking about this evening is white oak. So what's cool about that piece, though, man, is it has burl in it. It has some quarter sawn marks in it, so like the rays and the flake. It has some spalting in it. It has crotch figure. It literally has everything, all the figure that a tree can have, minus maybe some curl. It's got a little bit of curl near the crotch, but it almost has everything that every kind of figure that trees get in it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, Daniel says, how do you make a cutting board without it cupping? Oh, that's a great question. So Daniel, the reason why cutting boards cup is because they dry out faster on one side than they do the other. So if the wood isn't completely dry, moisture-wise, it will cup. So what I recommend is to make sure you saturate your cutting boards with the oil, like actually set it in the oil for like an hour or so, like some mineral oil, and then be sure to continue to condition it for the first year, at least once every couple of weeks. And if you're giving that to a customer, make sure you tell them to do the same thing. Make sure you condition every time you wash with soap. And then after that first year, you can do it like once a month or something like that. DK says, I can't believe you don't have every epoxy company knocking on your door. We all need to keep sharing your videos. DK, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's weird too because DK says, great work and teacher. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. It's crazy because I didn't have anyone, asking, and then all of a sudden in the past couple of weeks we had like 3 or 4 companies reach out. So pretty cool. I'm really excited. And so one of them It's like a little teaser. I'm gonna throw it out there. One of them is a 3-to-1 mixture. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. Renee Porter, that's my mom. She says, "That's right, DK. Share his videos." See, mom's always got it. Appreciate that, mom. Chad says, "Hi, what's up, Chad? I'm glad you joined us this evening. How you doing?" So DK says he does. He has talent. Oh man, thanks, man. So guys, if you have any other quick questions, feel free to comment and I'll get to them as soon as possible. But as far as Shop Talk Tuesday is concerned, we're gonna go ahead and start winding down for the evening. Guys, I'm glad that you guys came out to hang out with me this evening, and I'm glad that you guys have been supporting this channel and sharing videos and commenting and liking and doing all those things. It really means a lot. This is one of my favorite times during the week. Thank you for coming out. Remember, if you want to be on the lookout for me and on Patreon, as far as Instagram, be sure that you go over there and check out stuff, because we do have some. I do post pictures up there on what's coming up. Also, go over to the Facebook group, the community group, and you can go over there and post pictures of your own stuff and ask questions. That way, during the week, if I haven't posted a video or if I can't get to something, you can ask a question there and hopefully you can get it answered. So really appreciate everything and all the support from you guys. It really means a lot. Chad says, "Good, thanks. Missed you guys last week. Good to see you all again." Yeah, hey, that's what my goal is here, is to build a community of people where we can just get together, have fun, we can learn together, we can share our stuff together, and all that. So that's my goal. Christy said, "Thank you for all you do." I really appreciate that, Christy. DK says, "Thank you and congratulations once again." I appreciate that. Later says, "Be safe and healthy for the whole family." I definitely will. So once again, guys, thank you for hanging out with us, and I will catch you guys next week. I'll be there this week with a video on Friday, but I'll catch you live next week. So you guys have a good evening, and thanks for hanging out with us.